parents of the, well, not kids, but the people who had kind of aged out, wanted something else for their children. I felt very definite that God wanted me to be involved in that group. Well, anyway, we started our first class, I think, about the middle 70s, and we named ourselves, well, Joy stood for Jolly Old Youth, and that's what they are. They never are completely old in their thinking. Their bodies get older, like ours do, but they always have a youthful outlook, are so happy. They're able to pull up a happiness in them that some of us don't have easily. They can find joy and happiness in most everything. But anyway, the three of us would talk to any group that would have us and explain what we were doing and why we thought it was important to do this with this group of people. And I think it's been a wonderful thing for the church. They were not people to be frightened of. A lot of people thought that they were dangerous. People have become more comfortable. In the very beginning, people would hurry right by our classroom. And then eventually and slowly, they would start to slow down and look in the room and see what we were doing, and maybe even wave or something. Some people would come in and speak, shake hands, or just visit a little bit. I had no knowledge whatsoever of working with the mentally handicapped, and I just felt God drawing me to help start this class. And I have never regretted it. It was the best thing I ever did. Now we've got 9 that are regulars, 10 sometimes, which is wonderful. We'd love to increase our numbers. We've had enough help from the different people in the church. I was going to say, the first lesson that we taught was one, we got some information from the United Methodist Publishing Company. There wasn't very much that we could use or felt comfortable using, but this one was a good, real good lesson. We had all the different kinds of brushes, and we gave a different brush to each person in the class. And we would go brush by brush, and they would hold that brush up, and we would ask, what do you use that brush for? Well, to brush your teeth. And what did you use that brush for? Well, to comb my hair. Another one to, do the floors. And the lesson was that each brush was different and for a different purpose. Each brush was useful. And then just like the brushes being useful, each person in the class was important, what they could do, what they liked to do. And it was a lesson to help their self-confidence and their appreciation of each other and themselves. That was our first lesson. We had to treat them as adults. We couldn't treat them like little kids. And we couldn't use material that was good for children because the pictures in that were of children, of the notebooks and stuff. So we had to do our own thing. And we would go by the Bible. One thing that has helped tremendously, I'll come up with his name, Susie Kurtz has started to come in, has been coming in, and Art has taken over and has done a magnificent job. But Art, bless his heart, stepped in and just, I don't know what would have happened, because when I got sick and couldn't come anymore, he was there. And Susie, like I say, Susie stepped in, and she's great with the crafts, the arts and crafts. Pat White, as long as she lived, had been with us. We have a picture of her in our classroom. That was the hardest thing I think that we've had to do, was to tell them that Pat had died. I was expecting that they would, some of them at least, would fall apart that Sunday, but they handled it very well. The thing that upset them about that, her little cat that she had loved, and they all loved that little cat. They never saw it, but they loved it. And the little cat had escaped. And they were so upset about that. Oh, we have parties usually around Christmas time. And they love to have, we call it a harvest party. And one year they had invited the African family, members of the African family, and they came. We have been so blessed through the years with people that have just reached out to us. We had a family one time, paid for us all to go to the zoo. And we did that. We did an outing, and oh my, were they having a good time seeing the animals, and they're very sensitive. And when there's somebody that has worked with us, when I go on Sunday, when I go about once a month, I get all kinds of hugs. They don't have the cares of this world. They don't let them take them down. They don't worry about the fact that Trump may make a bad decision or that Congress maybe did this or that. If they have a problem, we will pray about it. They have confidence that God will take care of us. They just were able to put it in like a little compartment and go on and have fun, care about each other. Sam, that did the call to worship, or no, it wasn't that. It was, he had memorized it. He did word for word. And he was so proud of that. And I was amazed that he could have the confidence to do that, but he had wanted to do it. And then Art, bless his heart, found a way to help him memorize it and to do it. And that was for Sam being blind. That was something that he was on the phone calling me about it and everything. So excited. Andre has been an acolyte for years. But having them be able to be part of a worship service is so wonderful for the church, and it's fantastic for them to be able to be part of anything. Palm Sunday. They get to walk down the aisle with the palm leaves, and that is a thing. I think Pastor Neil has been really good with thinking of things that work well for them. He comes by our Sunday school class every Sunday, and they just almost mob him. They're so happy to see him. We didn't know what we were doing. We just knew that it was something that God wanted us to do, and we were going to work at it and hopefully get it right.
Thank you for watching and sharing.